Hello and welcome back to this Let's Play series in Crusader Kings 3 Realms in Exile. We are playing the realm of Angmar, which has a very distinctive shape on the borders there. We are still playing as the Skull Keeper. Um, he is getting up there in age. It's getting kind of close. Last episode, we started developing our army. We now have access to war trolls, and although I haven't recruited any yet, to Gundabad Black Shields. We will have to get rid of our regular warriors and recruit the Black Shields instead because they are better in my opinion. We still need to work on the infrastructure for them though, and in that sense, we're gonna need to develop probably the orc barracks here to work on our levy sides, now that we actually have levies worth a damn. And other than that, we're gonna have to pump some funds into the heavy infantry building here and the furnaces so that we can increase the stats of our heavy infantry and of our spearmen. We'll probably do the spearmen here and heavy infantry here. We also need to improve on the cavalry and the skirmishers and whatever else we're gonna recruit. So we're gonna need some funds. Because we gained access to some decisions last episode by creating the Kingdom of Gundabad, we now have access to two more decisions here. One of them is to establish control over the Angmar mountains. And what this does, if we completely control Mount Gram, which we do, and we completely control Foriag, which we don't, then we can fire this decision. And if we fire it, then the overlordship of Gundabad, so the kingdom of Gundabad, becomes the de jure liege of War Camp of Mount Gram and the war camp of Foriag, which means that Gundabad will expand by this duchy here and by the duchy of Mount Gram. And Angmar will be left with the lowlands of Angmar uh, and the subterranean holdings in Kanelevas. So it will reduce the size of the Angmar realm and it will transfer this and this duchy to Gundabad, which wouldn't be a horrible decision to take. However, we're not going to do that quite yet. Um, we would also have access to the restore the Orcish domination of Langwell, and uh, for that we need to completely control the kingdom of Anaethel. We're almost there with that. We just need this particular county here. And if we do that, we would gain the option to install corrupted local culture, so Framlings basically, um, of our faith followers in Anaethel to rule as vassals over the land's people, which we do not want to do. The alternative option is alternative option to ravage, okay, the managed population of Anaethel and attempt a mass culture and faith conversion, which we do want to do because we've placed our own people in control of these duchies. It will then unlock the drive men from the Vale decision, so the Anduin Vale, and it will also unlock the integrate the war clans of the Grey Mountains. So these guys. So we're gonna have a look at that decision in a moment. Um, and this would progress further on. Um, the only other ones we have are the same ones as before to desecrate the lands, to unify the Orc warbands, and to restore the Empire of Angmar. Now we desperately need to take this decision while this character is still alive, because if we don't, then the entire realm is going to split apart and everything we've worked for is going to fall to bits. Um, so on that note, we're going to need to wait a couple of minutes here until the army fills up. We're probably going to use the Orc warriors to take this. This should be fine. I've also had a look because the Grazim culture has access to the legions of Gundabad, which can recruit fell warg riders. Unfortunately, the Grazim culture was formed from our culture and a different culture, which no longer exists. Which is a problem because we cannot form a hybrid culture with a culture that is derived from ours. So we will never gain the legions of Gundabad. This is the problem. If you don't start with Gundabad and you start with Mount Gram, unfortunately we lose access to those war gliders, which is unfortunate because they're actually very good. They counter light cavalry, archers, and skirmishers, and ours counter skirmishers, archers, and archer cav. Admittedly, countering archer cav is more valuable, but that would have been nice to have access to. Regardless, in between episodes, I've set up some marriages, and I want to show you this because at the start of this series, he was the only one in our dynasty. There were no other people in the dynasty of Ukmag. And I wanted to get an impression of just how massive a dynasty can get from one single orc. Remember, this is from one orc. And we're gonna just scroll and scroll and scroll. We're at the halfway point now. And scroll and scroll and scroll. And there we are. This is from one guy. That's how far, and he's not done yet. Like we still had a kid born just 4 years ago. He is not done. And keep in mind, we never had four wives. We only had two. We could have had four, and this would have been completely off the rails because it would have effectively doubled the amount of children we were having, and then everything else would be doubled as well. So that's how insane orcish reproduction is. Also, last episode we went on a tournament, and I did not realize this at the time, but we actually managed the stellar cosmic performance of accidentally killing my own son in the tournament duel, which is personally I find that hilarious. But I'm sure our character is grieving greatly over killing his own son in a sport duel. But whatever. We're gonna unpause. We're gonna wait for the military to fill up a bit. Maybe we can add a few more trolls to it. We'll see. Here come the massive amounts of marriage arrangements and proposals I've made in between episodes. Well, that's that. I actually couldn't propose all of them because we would have had to unpause as to allow some of them to go through because there was that many. So I would actually have to pause and go through them again, but I just can't be bothered anymore. We're gonna wait for this to fill up a bit. So, who should we marry you off to? Anyone pretty? Anyone pretty? You are pretty. Good luck. We're gonna wait for the army to fill up a bit, and then we're gonna take the last territory here. My channel should have been named the Cuff Games rather than Sarmis Games. You can be married to him, but I don't particularly like that option. We're gonna wait on you a bit, actually. Who are we talking about here? Gorkin. So about you, who is not my heir. Fickle, wrathful, forgiving, and you want to be an assassin. Fickle is great for assassin. Can we increase our trolls some more? Yes, we can. Now the trolls would suffer greatly if we were to fight inside Las Galen, but we won't be fighting in Las Galen. Another one. Okay, let's see if we can get you someone smart and strong. That would be an option, but it wouldn't be the best option. How about you marry him? We won't be fighting inside Las Galen, we'll just be fighting here. And that should fall rather quickly. And because we've stationed our trolls in the best we could do at the moment, their defense is nuts. It's simply nuts. They have 3,000 defense at the moment. There's not a lot of them though, so we should improve on that. We can have a maximum of 40 at the moment. We will have more later on. You are pretty. Who can we marry you off to? To another pretty. That will work. We could get his assistance. He doesn't hold any territory. Alternatively, we could sell stuff for 450, but at this point, our income is fine. I'm just gonna absorb as much experience as we can. Are we still fabricating? We are still fabricating. I'm gonna absorb as much experience as we can because that would be more valuable at the moment. We could wait for the full troll train to develop. It wouldn't be the end of the world. Look at those stat increases, +2 and +2. That's nice to see. You're gonna get married, that's fine, thank you. Our trolls are not exactly full, but they're close enough. Let's take this. We're gonna holy war you. We're gonna raise our military. And the elves are not joining? They are not joining. Excellent. Oh, they just joined. It's too late though. I don't think you have the forces to stop us either. Not out in the open. But I guess we'll see, because here they come. We have peasants who wish to pay me. That's nice. There's nothing I can do with your funds right now, except we can start improving these. So let's do that. First, we're gonna improve the orc barracks. We could improve the heavy stats. It might be worth it actually. 150. That's not nothing. But for now, let's just improve the barracks, I think. There we go. We can ransom someone though. Can we ransom you quickly? And quickly. You need someone strong to marry to. You will do. So there we go. That's the kingdom of Angmarim done. That's all the lands in it. You don't need to be feudalized, you are feudal. I'm gonna grant you your title, because it is yours. So, now, we have the option to restore the Orcish domination of Langwell. Once the men of the Upper Langwell offered tribute to the Orc lords of Gundabad, dwelling in fear of our wrath. This continued under Angmar, but with its fall, so too did our influence over the men of the region. The Oathed slaughtered us whenever we came forth, and so we were forced to remain in the mountains. The first step to establishing our dominion again is to once more put the fear of Gundabad in the hearts of men. Horses are no match for wargs. We get a bit of renown, we get a bit of prestige, we get the kingdom as well. So there we go. And now we have the option, a question of leadership. My decisive show of strength has finally brought the northern reaches of the Anduin Vale under my control, but already the local menfolk grow restless and are beginning to resist their rightful overlords. The war-hungry warriors of my host are eager to tear the heart out of this foolish resistance just as it starts beating, relishing the prospect of plunder and bloodshed that it would bring. Yet there are some among the menfolk that are weak, cowardly, and corruptible, who may be able to keep their people in line if given the chance to rule over them. And if we do that, give them control over what land I have taken, then all non-colony counties held by you in East Angmar, it's called East Angmar now, it's no longer an Aethel, um, grant all of them to local culture of our faith, local culture followers of our faith. We could also, what's the difference between these two? Ah, this is the one held by me in Eastern Angmar. This is also held by me. So what's the difference between these? Replace all non-colony counties held by non-local culture vassals. Ah, so if we gave them to non-locals, then they would have it. However, um, we do have revoke all counties held by non-orc vassals in East Angmar. There aren't any. All non-Warauthai Madur culture counties get ravaged lands for 10 years, so their development would drop. However, the 65% chance of the counties that are not of my culture to convert to our culture and faith. Or I don't have time for this. We're gonna hit this button. Okay? Is that done? Is there no more anything? So this is still Velman. Let's have a look at the cultures. So some of it have changed, not all of it. And the same ones have also converted. And we should have the kingdom title, which is now called East Angmar. So that would give us access to integrate the war clans of the Grey Mountains. Now, the conditions for this are that I have to hold East Angmar, I have to hold Gundabad, and I have to have the title The Grey Mountains. I do not have the title. Also, all independent rulers, currently one, no or culture independent ruler in the Grey Mountains. So basically we have to subjugate this entire thing. Let's read it. Ever since the drakes drove out the dwarves, the orcs and goblins of the Grey Mountains have largely remained idle there. But they did heed the call of Bolg to avenge the Great Goblin and join their armies to ours in the Battle of Five Armies. We shall reward them by integrating them into our growing realm and consolidating the Grey Mountains as an extension of Gundabad. And if we take this decision, we get an army of 3,500 men, orcs. It should say orcs. Several skilled orcs from the Grey Mountains join our court. We will discover a powerful artifact from the depths of the mountains. I can't remember what this artifact would be. And we would unlock the Avenge the Battle of the Five Armies decisions, and we would get a bit more renown. So we're heading in the right direction, basically. We just need to conquer them. And we can. We can declare a holy war for the entire kingdom. We can only do one holy war per lifetime, but we are currently working on that because we changed the tradition that we have access to. I'm not gonna wait for our heavy infantry to be swapped. It would cost a pretty penny to do that. It's about 100 gold, and we would need about 800 to replace what we already have. What I will do, however, let's check. Where are you stationed? In Matugard, that's fine. You are in the Chamber of Awakening. Why? Who's in Gate of Gundabad? Skirmishers. Because we have a lot of these in here. Okay. That's fine. We will swap that though. We're gonna put skirmishers in here, I think. And we'll place the other one in the Gate of Gundabad itself. So we're gonna spend our money on improving the military, basically. We could still build some economy here and some here, but I don't think it's worth it at this point. Our kingdom is going to rupture a bit more. Currently, we are keeping the overlordship of Gundabad and the overlordship of Angmar, which we would want, actually. But I don't want to just give him the kingdom of Angmar. When we're going to give this to someone else anyway, we're going to give it to him because he's sitting on the capital. And he is part of our dynasty anyway. We just can't give it to him now because if we give it to him now, he's just going to become independent. On that note, how are our colonies? You need to be built up. And we can wait on you too. Okay. Our army is completely fine. So, let's declare war for the kingdom. That will be fine. We're gonna raise our army here. There's no way they can beat our army. It's bigger, and we have trolls, and they do not. And they have what? Warriors, archers, pikemen, scouts. Okay, that's fine. So the problem now is going to be that we're going to be neighboring both Lasgalen and the dwarves. However, I think it's worth going in that direction before we go down south towards Lothlorien. We might actually want to kill Lasgalen before we go south. I don't think we want to go south unless we get rid of Lasgalen. Maybe even the dwarves. Right, who can we marry you to? You'll do. And we captured people. Can we ransom you? Not really, okay. Are we building military stuff? No, no, we are not. You can build Uruk pits. We need to march faster than that, but we are marching as fast as we can. Have you already finished training? Whoa! And that's because you have a weapon equipped, isn't it? 54, and you have 46. It doesn't matter anymore. This prized bow, prize axe. This one is still better. And we can give a weapon to our heir here, who doesn't have one, I'm pretty sure. Let's give you the prize axe. We also have a prize ring. Just destroy it. So we have some money. All of these are building. We could do with building here as well. Let's build the work pits. How is this doing? This is about to be done. Let's feudalize that. Let's move you here. And there we are, we can now colonize Karndum. Building construction time 20%, 15%. We're gonna start with this one. And we can't do this because we're at war. Okay. Is that your army? No. Let's continue down this path. We captured some more people. Ransom everyone you can. That's everyone we can. So, weak hooks on everyone. I don't want them dying in my dungeons. We built spiked ditches in the Chamber of Awakening. That would be this one. Hide shelters is for the cavalry. Let's build raiding camps. So the raiding camps do end up increasing skirmishers and archers. The first ones don't, but as you start to develop it, you start to get to the buildings that give bonuses as well. So we're gonna upgrade this. Where is your army, dude? You're gonna get destroyed pretty soon. So out of two beautifuls, you came out with nothing. I'm not sure how that would even be possible. I'm not even gonna look at you, actually. You can marry whoever you want. I'm not interested. We will need an additional siege engine army, I think. Wait a minute. Did I choose that for my heir? No. No, I did not. I need to pay attention to what we're picking because that would have been disastrous on my heir, I think. We're getting closer and closer to your capital, buddy. Where's your army? Are you at war with anyone else? No, just me. So where's your army? What is the AI actually doing? Yeah, you're here trying to lay siege, and you don't even have the troops to lay siege. That's unfortunate for you, isn't it? Ransom more people, I suppose. This idiot belongs in my dungeons, and we're gonna move him into house arrest instead. So who is trying to kill who? Someone is still trying to kill my heir. And you're a leper. Don't you just love this game sometime? My heir is being killed. And the other one is a leper. Shackle Watchtower in the Chamber of Awakening. Let's keep going with these. And here we're still building stuff. Okay. Someone strong and intelligent, please. Not happening right now. Let's see what we have for you. Nothing valuable. We have more prisoners. Ransom them as well. We can extort subjects. Ah, sure, whatever. Do not worry, I will have everyone pay. Who are you and what do you want? My son? My son doesn't want to read. If I force him to, there's a chance his education will improve. And our tutor will work even harder as a tutor. Yeah, that's exactly what you're gonna do, boy. Uh, do we have a better spy master? We could choose our own player heir. Let's do that. I have the distinct impression that someone was involved in the plot. And he shouldn't be able to be involved in that plot. You are sterile. Which only, keep in mind, this only negates the buff that the orcs get. He is still as sterile as any regular couple in Middle-earth. So do not be fooled by this. You're gonna go for my courtier though. No, we're not gonna come to your feast, it's fine. So there is his army finally. But it's okay, because we're almost getting at your capital and there's no way you can do anything about it now. Can you get there faster though? Thank you. Work breeders constructed in Gormak. Okay. Keep going though. We have a ways to go. This is almost done though. Another one with no stats. I'm not sure how by this point, but whatever. There it is. I'm not even gonna stop to look at anything else. Just get the claim. Smart. We'll wait on you a bit. Ha, it just dropped to 71%. Right, so that's the end of that. Look at that. Oh my. So can we file this decision now? No, because I need to have the title. Okay. Well, we can definitely have the title. We just need to create it or steal it from him. Yeah, it would be expensive, so I'll wait to see if he lets go of it, because he only has this left now. And a couple of duchies, which he no longer holds terrain in. You want to pay, I'll accept. That's fine. Ransom the rest of them as well. And I'm gonna have to figure out who to give what to at this point, because this is a lot to work on. Do we get any special buildings at all? I don't mind that. Nordimbad, do we benefit from you? This would give us a medium boost, and I don't think this is dependent on us being orcs or not. This would be nice to have. We have tin deposits here. Oh my. Tin deposits would be good because we could build the tin mines but we will never be able to develop them past this, which is an extra 20%. It's not much. It's not going to make a massive difference. Any other special buildings? No. None at all. So I suppose I'm gonna pause the recording and figure out what the hell to give to whom. However, at this point, we can restore the empire. So that's nice. I'm not gonna do this straight away. Let me first figure out what to give to whom, and I'll be right back. Right, so here we are. I've given out some of the holdings. Namely, I've given him these 5. My son is holding the grand total of 3, which is annoying, but it is what it is. He's already betrothed to someone. And this gentleman here is holding 4. He still needs 2 more. I'm not gonna bother to give these to random people, because they're gonna dismantle them anyway. So what I'm gonna do instead, we're gonna steal the duchies. It's gonna be expensive, but it is what it is. So we're gonna give you the war camp of Withered Heath with all that comes with it. Before we do that, this is a colony, and I'm gonna abandon this because we're overextended by the colony counter. And we're gonna give him all of this, and he can do whatever he wants with it. Our son here, we're gonna steal this duchy, and we're gonna give him the rest of it. We're giving this to our son because we're gonna make him king later on anyway. And we're gonna steal this duchy. We're not gonna steal this duchy. We're gonna create this duchy. It's gonna change the icon and the name, I think. And we're gonna give it to this gentleman right here with all that comes with it. So now we're no longer overextended. And we hold all of it. We don't have the title yet. We're gonna wait for him to abandon it, I think. In the meantime, we need to work on our military because our next target is gonna be him. We have to take this. We have to take his capital away. We absolutely have to do this. Not holy war. Can we not do a conquer? We can. We have to take this away from him. It's where most of his military is. It's also where he has the highest forts. Some of these are gonna be hard to capture, but there's not a lot we can do because we have to do this. We have to take away his power. So on that note, let's improve what we can still improve. Right, so we're improving cavalry here. We're improving the infantry here. Here it's gonna be skirmishers. And that's all of it. For now. We can work on another skirmisher group. Or we can work on another cavalry group. And I think we're gonna work on another cavalry group because we will have access to heavy cavalry when we adopt the Unify the Orc War Bands. So let's unpause. Let's see what he does. He can hold 1 more. He could only hold 3 before. You want to pay ransom. I will accept your ransom. Who do we have in our dungeons? You can go free. And the rest of you will hook you. Because I do not want you in my dungeons. Shilog died. Who was Shelag? She was murdered by my great-grandson. Can I ask why did you do that? Did we get any children out of you? We did. Well, that's annoying. Can we marry you to anyone in our dynasty with perks, please? Let's see. We could, but it's nothing great. We do have this great-granddaughter. Let's do a matrilineal marriage. Let's unpause. How is the development going? It's going. Let's increase these. We'll increase this one as well. This is gonna have to wait a while. Yeah, that's cool. This still hasn't been resolved. He's gonna die soon. What have we built in the Chamber of Awakening? Yeah, let's improve that. And in Matugard, yeah. This is gonna take 2 years. It's gonna increase the levy size more. We're already at almost 23,000. Life or death, assassin. As I lay down to adjust my boot, I am suddenly jolted upright when we hear riders approaching. The cloaked figures seem to be coming from every direction, and before I know it, one of the villains is right in front of me, blade drawn, and lunging at my throat. And we call for Zaglun, who is our bodyguard. And the assassin is slain, and we gained heightened senses. The existence of the scheme is exposed as well. Princess Ulgur has been murdered. She was the assassin. How do you like them apples? My own daughter was trying to kill me. I don't want to get frozen grief. That's pretty bad. Drinking binge is gonna go away for after 3 years, so let's do a drinking binge instead. Isn't that amazing? So this is my heir's heir. Okay. So my caravan master is scheming against my heir's heir. We're still at 57% secrecy though. Not good. We caught him as well. How's that secrecy? Still not good. Marriage, please. No, we'll skip on that for a while. We're not gonna get to you in time, that's fine. We could try to hunt. We're not missing a lot, and I don't want to declare war quite yet. 4 and 4. Let's go for that. Watch us die now. Can you abandon your title, please? Put the fire out. Increased control has finished. Let's... The rest of it looks just about as bad. Any more revolts or anything? Soon. Abandon your title, dude. You're not holding anything there. Right, this is him. Um, Fickle would probably be the best one for you. It's annoying that it cuts down on stewardship, but it will increase diplomacy and intrigue. Yes, fabricate on the front porch. And on that note, fabricate some more, please, on this one. And that will be the last one we need to take care of. However, we do need to take away your vassals and remove their titles. So, let's retract your vassal. And let's take away your stuff. You hate me, but there's nothing you can do about it. Gate of Gundabad has finished building. We were improving heavy infantry here, so let's continue with that. These buildings are also gonna give us levies, which, remember, we are going to get more levies because of this duchy building. So the more levies we raise in this duchy, the more we're gonna have access to because of that building. Right, we are now over our limit. Who is holding what? This is just some randomer. And this is just another randomer. And who is holding this? That guy. Okay. Well, we don't want him there either. Our heir is 75. He is with stewardship. Decisions. This would be a good one to hold simply because of this building, which increases stewardship lifestyle experience by 40%. That is massive. So I'm inclined to keep it actually, but the problem is we can't keep all of this. We could give the high gate away at this point actually, because I don't want to keep it, and it's not de jure mine anyway. Have your stuff back, dude. And as for the rest of them, we have 3 here and 2 here. That's 5. That's gonna be 6, 7. It's okay. We can be 1 over for now. Let's get out there. Put it back. How are we for time? We still have some time. We're fine. Learning would help. We're gonna get stressed. There's nothing we can do while we're out hunting. After it, patience. I will shoot it. I won't risk dying over a wolf. So how much experience do we have in hunting now? We're full. So we don't need to worry about hunting anymore. We can stop this for now. And we got an artifact. Let's deal with said artifact. Feral wolf hide. No, no. More children. Okay. Let's marry the two of you if we can. You're a candidate. Yeah. And you're a candidate. Ah, sure. Chamber of Awakening. Let's keep increasing these. Yep, that's fine. How is this going? Another child. Did you murder your own kid? No. Who? Okay, so who inherited this? You have. I actually don't mind that. How is the inheritance so far? It's fine. Oh my days. Who to marry you to? To him would be fine. Right. So, at this point, we can safely get rid of these and replace them with them. And we're gonna station you in Matugard for now. We have a granddaughter who can be married. Let's marry you outside our dynasty, matrilineally, to the guy who's Herculean. That'll do. And let's wait a second for that to fire. Someone's trying to kill my wife, and I suspect it's one of the lovers. Granddaughter. Same deal for you, matrilineally. Who with is the question. Someone who's Herculean, apparently, because that's the best we can do. You'll do, don't care. We have a grandson. What's up with you? Right, who's the best we can marry you to? Intelligent, probably. Have at it. And another grandson who also doesn't know which way is up. No, not the leopard, please. Is that the only intelligent one we have? It is. Let's marry a pretty one. I think I saw a younger one. Yes, her. That's fine. So that will do. How is our army? We're gonna wait on them. You married some randomer. You know what? We're gonna murder her, thank you. We'll use your spy master. And apparently yourself. Why did you even marry her? What exactly was the point of that? I don't quite understand. You have revolts. Can you handle them yourself? Any more revolts anywhere? Yes. And you seem to be attacking there as well. Look at this happy camper. He hates me as well, for some reason. Isn't this... No, okay. Yeah, you can marry. That's fine. Chamber of Awakening has improved on this. We need to swap those around though. Are we building anything here? We are not. You need to build that. You need to build that. How are our colonies? You're almost there. Oh, bother. That's not good. That is not good at all. Let's change this to medicine focus instead. That buys us a little bit of time, but not much. We need to do something here. Have you abandoned that kingdom yet? No, you haven't. Uh, okay. How are we for time? We don't have a lot. Uh, and our army size is substantial. I still don't fully trust our army size though. How are we for this? 7 years. Hmm. It's gonna take a while to get there. Right. I think I want to try something because I was looking when we were doing all of this. Um, I noticed in the previous episodes we were looking at the decisions we can take, and one of them was something about the men from the Anduin Vale, and it was supposed to give us an artifact. But that decision is no longer here because this doesn't give the artifact, so it must have been a different one. And I think I know what changed this. I think it was the adoption of the title of Gundabad. So, uh, I've already checked, the other one isn't here anymore. So what we're going to do, because I want to keep the domain intact, we're gonna restore the Empire of Angmar. We're gonna have a look at how that will affect things in terms of inheritance. And then at some point we're gonna have to destroy the title for the Kingdom of Gundabad to see if we get access to that decision again. We'll attack the Anduin Vale, fire the decision if we have it, so we get the artifact, reinstate the Gundabad's kingdom, and then we should have access to the decisions we have access to now. But for now, we're gonna restore the Empire of Angmar. So the Iron Crown of Angmar was one of the mightiest nations to rise in the north of Middle-earth. For centuries it clashed with the kingdom of Arnor, even triumphing over it. However, it was destroyed soon after, its people laid waste to by the retributions of the men of Gondor and the elves. However, its memory remains. If we can assert control over the heartlands of the ancient realm of Angmar, both east and west of Mount Gundabad, we could decree it reborn. And we would get renown, absolute crown authority, faith prestige, the title, and we will change the de jure ownership of these lands. So, the Iron Crown rises anew. Boom. The heir of Angmar. Long fallen Angmar rises anew. For centuries, the wastes of the north lay uninhabited, the ruins of this long lost realm. Once it was among the greatest and mightiest realms of Middle-earth, under the rule of the Witch King. It laid waste to Arnor and its successor states, destroying that wretched kingdom of the Dunedain and striking fear into the hearts of men. Yet it too would fall against the combined onslaught of men and elves, which would leave the region utterly uninhabited. Yet no more. Under my rule, the realm of Angmar rises again. The northern wastes and ruins of the former kingdom have been resettled, and it is in my name that the memory of the Iron Crown of Angmar is renewed. Let the north tremble, for I am the heir of the Iron Crown. And we can see we still have access to the same decisions here. Desecrate Imladiris, Karas Galadhon, Arad Hrind, subjugate the Ettenmoors, integrate the war clans, drive men from the Vale, establish control over Angmar Mountains, and unify the Orc warbands. We're not gonna fire this with him because he's gonna die soon and we're just gonna lose a conqueror, basically. But we're now an emperor. Our de jure capital should be in Karn Doom, which isn't fully developed yet. And if we look at our inheritance at the moment is fine. So, we don't have to change anything per se. However, this is gonna go away and we're gonna have another kingdom in play. I'm gonna give it another year and then I'm probably going to you know what, let's go for know thyself before we go for anything else. I'm gonna give it another year, and if he still doesn't abandon this title, we're going to steal it. Unfortunately, with the new title, I don't think we get any new warriors. We do not. We do get access to another men-at-arms group. We're gonna have to populate that. I'm not sure what with. We might throw in some... I should have kept the Orc warriors, now that I think about it. But we might throw in some extra siege towers, so we can siege faster, because these are gonna be hard to siege anyway. How is your revolt? And who is this? You are still fighting. You're winning here, though, which is good. Let's join your revolt for a moment, because I've had enough of these guys. That will do. You've installed your leper son. And a bunch of nobodies, effectively. Another son. Who's holding this? A nobody and yourself personally. And this, ladies and gents, is why I hate the AI, because that's a mess needing fixing. We're gonna join your world though. Please destroy that. You are the actual heir. We don't want generous. Arrogant will do. Inspired person. He wants to go to the Twin Kingdoms. His skill is legendary. What is your fighting skill? It's good. Where the hell are the Twin Kingdoms? Go. I have no idea where the Twin Kingdoms are. It could be to Mag. Mag and to Mag. Maybe those are them. Right, you should now offer better stats for skirmishers. Let's have a look. So that's 6.4. And if I could see... Oh, for God's sake. Let's take these away from the Chamber of Awakening. Let's take you away. So that's 6.4 and 2. And that is 11.2 and 3.2. So yes, you are better there. We'll station the pikemen there, though. Bring me something truly unique. Khan Doom, a light in the darkness. This relates to the removal of the fleeting shadows. This is so fitting for orcs. So, the local workers have found a living green plant growing in the seemingly inhospitable ashen wastes of Mordor. You're not exactly in Mordor, bud. A discovery like this seems to bode well for the future of our colony. I shall not let such a stroke of good luck go to waste. We will feed the furnaces with it. That is just perfect. Please do feed the furnaces. Develop this, thank you. We have a... Never mind what we have. That is a complete waste. Matugard has finished. Let's increase this further. So now you're giving us 1400 levies. That's because we're over the limit. You know what? Let me pause a second. I'll find someone to... Well, actually, I'm not gonna pause because we're over the time limit. I'm gonna have to find someone to give these to because I don't want to keep these per se. But I don't want his immediate heirs to inherit this either. So we'll play around with who gets this. But I'll leave that for the next episode. For now, we are waiting on some military upgrades, and we're probably gonna use the money we get to get some more siege towers. And in the next episode, we're probably gonna take this away from the elves, because they are a major threat. And after that, what we'll probably do is we'll probably take a chunk out of Dale, namely the High Lordship of Dale lands. And then we'll march into Erebor at some point, because we will have the decision to avenge the Battle of the Five Armies. Here, avenge the Battle of the Five Armies decision. So yeah, that's kind of the path. At some point we're gonna have to get into the Bjornings and clear up the woods and everything. But we're on the right path. We're definitely an empire now. I haven't checked the de jure land, so let's have a look at this. Yeah, so Angmar holds de jure East Angmar, Angmar itself, and Gundabad. And Forodwife has been reduced to just the kingdom of Lumima. And the rest of it is now Misty Mountains. So Misty Mountains has been reduced in scale. Iron Mountains has not. So we'll see where it goes with this. But we'll leave it for the next episode. Throw me a comment, a like, a subscription. Help me grow my channel if you're enjoying my stuff. I'll see you in the next episode, and goodbye for now.